Welcome to the Modern Titus to Women Unplugged podcast, where we dive fearlessly into the untold stories and struggles of women's lives. This is a space of authenticity where no topic is off limits. Each episode is a journey of discovery and empowerment, confronting challenges with honesty and vulnerability. From maintaining a home to healing from abuse, balancing motherhood with personal passions, and navigating single parenting, widowhood, divorce, and post-abortion heartbreak, we explore it all. With special guests offering wisdom and perspective, we uncover forgiveness and reignite love in marriage. Join us for soul-stirring conversations. Tune in. Your story matters.
Welcome to the Modern Titus to Women Unplugged podcast. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal, health, tax, professional advice. We're not responsible for any losses, damages, or liability that may arise from the use of this podcast. This podcast is not intended to replace professional medical advice. The views expressed in this podcast may not be those of the host or the management. This podcast may contain adult themes, so parental discretion is advised. So welcome to the Modern Titus to Women Unplugged podcast. Our podcast is one where we fearlessly dive into the unspoken struggles that shape the lives of women today. As part of our mentoring role, we seek resources and support designed to help women thrive. We explore strategies for achieving optimal well-being and performance in every aspect of life. I'm thrilled to introduce today's guest, Milan Schwarzkopf from beautiful Prague, Czech Republic. Milan is the author of Living Your Best Third Act. However, he does not just talk the talk. As you will discover during this podcast, he is actually a living testimony of his book. Yes, he is a full-fledged participant in his own third act of life and is loving it. He spent his working years as a senior project manager on complex, strategic, multi-million-dollar global projects, so planning is definitely his business. Milan has learned the secret of living an exciting and meaningful retirement is more than just financial security. He looked at his own life and redesigned it to reflect the ideal life of his desire, his own third act. This discovery is too important to not share with you, so Milan has created a simple step-by-step plan that he would like to share with you. So Milan, we have a lot of things to get through this morning, so we're just going to jump into it. So can you share a bit about your own journey towards understanding retirement planning?
So first of all, thank you for inviting me here. It's my pleasure to be here. I have worked for decades as a project manager, both employee and freelancer, leading large, complex international and global IT projects. Responsibility for huge budgets and large numbers of people led to me not sleeping well at night and being overstressed. In later years, I asked myself, why am I doing this? How long can I withstand this? How long do I want to withstand this? Is this job still providing me my meaning, my why, as it did many years before? What will happen if my health deteriorates? Will I be able to live decently from the state pension? For many years, I suspected this stressful work and reliance on the state of social security pension would not provide me with enough security for a decent retirement. Also, I knew if I did not prepare in advance, my health, relationships, lifestyle, and fulfillment would deteriorate in retirement too. For these reasons, I have been purposefully preparing myself for decades for retirement, which I am currently in.
Congratulations on that. Now, in your book, you mentioned an old Japanese proverb. It says, "Without action is a daydream, action without vision is a nightmare. So, what inspired you to write Living Your Best Third Act?
Several reasons. I have both seen many people struggle in retirement and had my wealth, relationships, and life purpose issues. I decided to study what was available on this topic and spent years reading and understanding related books, articles, and other literature, consulted with experts from various professions, watched webinars and trainings of world authors, and did the tasks I have set for myself. I realized all aspects of our lives are interconnected. Everything affects everything. When I finished my plan, I had direction and satisfaction in this new way of thinking. Then I started to think others should be preparing for retirement too. I have not found any other comprehensive book on this topic, so I decided to write it. I have compiled my more than 20 years of knowledge into this book. I basically took the best and left the rest, so you don't have to do all that research. Using my guidance, you can have a roadmap to help you on your own journey. It will be simpler and easier for you to get there than it was for me. You will need something less effort and can avoid dead ends. Much of the information in my book is based on my personal journey.
Mm-hmm. So, how do you define the concept of the third act in life? How is it different from the traditional, retirement, different definitions and stuff that we have for retirement? How is this different? The concept of the third act in life.
Yes, sure. We have all lived our first act of life, which, like in the first act of a drama, was when we were developing as a human being, starting to know who we were, actually growing up, studying, improving our qualifications, and preparing for our second act of life. In that second act, we expand our knowledge and expertise, are working, possibly changing our roles, ideally achieving the mastery level, making money to be able to support our family, building a house, or renting a flat, buying a car, and preparing resources for retirement. One day we will retire, and we will not work anymore unless we want to. We will actually change our life roles. We will live from our savings and investments, pension, social security, or company plans. But there is more to retirement than just the financial part. That's why I use the term third act of life. It needs a holistic view, including health, relationships, lifestyle, new life meaning, not based on work or profession, which has provided you purpose, community, structure, challenges, accomplishment, and satisfaction. It also includes contributions to the world and happiness. For the first time in history, the third act of life is as long as our first act, 20 to 30 years, and if you are healthy, it will be even more years. Still, nearly nobody is preparing for this third act. If you are not preparing, it may easily become a tragedy. I don't want that for you. I want it to be a joy for you with a long duration. Imagine you will have, say, 10 to 14 hours a day for yourself. How will you use your time, energy, and resources? Will you be able to improve your health or relationships, which may have deteriorated during your second act?
Yeah, you mentioned about taking a holistic approach to retirement. Could you elaborate on that? I think you mentioned already that you considered health and wealth and happiness. Could you expound on that?
Sure. Most people assume retirement is only about money and don't look at the rest of their life in a holistic way. Money itself cannot make you happy. Even if you manage to save enough money, if you are not healthy, have bad or non-existent relationships, and are not clear on your new life mission and purpose, you will struggle. You may currently be in the middle of your second act. You are still working and fully engaged in making money and completing your career, while also aware that your third act will come one day. Job functions and titles often shape how people are perceived by themselves and others, having a job as the only meaning of life. For people who define themselves primarily through their jobs, losing work or retiring is a serious problem. Sooner rather than later, you should positively redefine who you are. I'll also teach you how to prevent yourself from getting stuck in a mode which I call pending life purpose. Good relationships matter too. Close relationships protect people from life dissatisfaction, help delay mental and physical decline, and bring a long and happy life more reliably than social status, IQ, financial situation, or even genes. My retirement planning therefore consists of 4 main pillars: finance, health, relationships, and new life purpose, not dependent on work anymore.
Addressing the emotional and social aspect of retirement, because you remember when you're in the work environment, you have your friends around you, your colleagues, you socialize probably on a Friday, you go happy hour, whatever it is. Now you're no longer in that forum. So how do you address in your book the emotional and social aspect of retirement?
Actually, these aspects are present in most of the chapters. They are contained in the techniques and actions of the book. So I don't have a simple one-sentence answer at hand.
Okay. But also in your book, it says, I have a quote from page 218 of your book. It states, retirement should be a reorientation of living, a fresh start. We should rather call it self-actualization or self-realization. We are soaring to a new height outwardly and inwardly. So my question here is, how do you suggest readers find purpose and meaning in their retirement? Because a lot of persons are leaving the work environment. Yes, it's fun. The first week you don't have to do anything. You can get up, nobody bossing you up about, and you can travel. But after a while it gets stale, So how does one find purpose and meaning in retirement after the novelty has worn off, after the first months have worn off?
Exactly. This is a good question. Maybe the most important question. You may be asking yourself, how do I want to live in retirement? What do I want to experience? What I'm going to need to do that? Who or what do I want to be dependent on or independent from? By understanding the steps to build your emotional health lifestyle plan, possible approaches and techniques, and your attitude, you will have meaning for your fresh start prepared so you can live a happy and fulfilled retirement. Everyone must find their why themselves. It cannot be described exactly, but I have some guidance how to find it for everyone. Imagine all the personal freedom, leisure, and change of life structure that you will gain in retirement. Also, imagine seeing yourself as a new person with new desires and possibilities of how to live your new life. Possibly you will add another item to your meaning, this why, of retirement life. So you will make your retirement years the best time of your life. It is possible. The retirement years are the best time of your life if you prepare for it adequately. would recommend anyone study chapter 9, and they will discover how to search for meaning for your third act, how to build their emotional health lifestyle plan, what is a common but wrong way, general steps for your emotional health, how to create a new identity for your fresh start. You will see some other tools you may want to use, and you will most probably have to build your new routines and abandon the present routines.
So what are, in your studies, what are the common pitfalls that people are encountering or people have encountered while planning for their retirement? What are the pitfalls?
So let me repeat one fact first. For the first time in history, people are living 20, 30, and 40 years longer than they expected.
Mhm.
Average life expectancy in this century will increase by 10 to 20 years. The aging population is dramatically increasing. For instance, by the year 2030, 20% of the US population will be older than 65 years, and still nearly nobody is preparing for this longer retirement life. It is, in my view, pitfall number 1. Pitfall number 2 is thinking that retirement preparation is just about money.
Mhm.
Number 3, transition to retirement will be very pleasant. People think, I will not have to work, deal with life, wake up early, or I will have time for my hobbies, travel, garden, and children. People think, why should I worry at all now? Pitfall number 4, planning for retirement is difficult. It actually is not. Pitfall number 5, underestimating how differences in approach increase over time. Even if you are aware of the importance of this topic and make small changes now, they will gradually become big changes and you will be better prepared. Pitfall number 6 is not building social contacts outside of work. Pitfall number 7, having work as main part or all of their identity. I would show you the results of one research. They say that the most common retirement myths are: before you retire, you need to have at least X in your pension. Second, you can't retire before the state pension age.
Mhm.
Another one, I have lots to do, I will be busy.
Mhm.
Another, I will have to reduce my spending in retirement. Retirement means the end of work. And the last one, people work in retirement because they need the money. That's it.
Okay. So based on your book and the things that you're recommending, what are the success factors? Do you have any persons or individuals who have actually implemented these principles and, to prove that, yes, they have, they've actually used it and it is working?
Yes, I can show to myself. I
Okay.
have not done any research of other people.
Mhm.
I can easily see if somebody implemented some principles. But one example can be Chip Conley, who uses similar principles for midlife transformations. Why I'll teach people transition to retirement. Chip Conley, after disrupting the hospitality industry as Airbnb's head of global hospitality and strategy, leading a worldwide revolution in travel, Conley co-founded Modern Eldon Academy, the first ever midlife wisdom school. Dedicated to reframing the concept of aging, Modern Eldon Academy supports students to navigate midlife with a renewed sense of purpose and possibility. Conley provides wisdom to midlife people, where I serve people who are thinking about retirement, planning for retirement, or are already in retirement. So we have many techniques, many tools, many views common, but I have some techniques, some views quite different.
So, okay, so probably some of our audiences are listening to it. They're actually in retirement already or getting ready, to retire in a couple of months. And they're hearing all these things and they're saying, oh my gosh, I don't have half of what he's saying. I don't have, have all these things that I'm supposed to have in place. I, have some financial, the financial aspect of it, but the other parts that you're putting in, the holistic approach, they haven't attained that. What advice would you give these people now?
In my view, financial preparation for retirement takes years or rather decades. If you have not prepared your finance in time, I have no magic wand for you, sorry. On the other hand, you can improve your health, expand your relationships, refine or redefine the life purpose nearly at any time, before the retirement or during the retirement. Research shows that satisfaction is positively related to the number of years individuals save for retirement. The longer, the higher satisfaction. Advice is, realize the importance of this topic, improve your knowledge, educate yourself. You may start with buying my book or asking me, and start immediately with first small steps. Now, make a task in your calendar just now as we speak. Learn how to build and or improve your relationships with your spouse, friends, wider communities soon enough. Details are in chapter 8. Your health, exercise, proper dieting, less sugar and salt, learn to handle stress, sleep well, sun exposure, regular medical checks, details and practical steps see in chapter 6. Learn about balancing enjoyment and experiences now and postponing some of your enjoyment in favor of the future. Trading some of the present convenience for a better future life. Commitment over convenience.
Okay, so you touched on some of the on two questions that I had to ask because, as you correctly said, people are living longer. My grandmother lived to 108. She died 2 years ago, and she was sharp as a tack. But so the question is, these persons have actually gone off already. They are getting their fixed money and all of that. So based on what you're saying, I suppose that some of them are worried and say, no, I might outlive the time that I have and the money might not be able to suffice. What recommendation can you make to them at this point? And the other aspect of it has to do with, as you were saying, that persons need to be physical, make sure they take care of their health and all of that. If you want to expound on that a little bit more, like, what you consider that they should be doing.
I would advise anyone the same. Don't delay the start of investing, even with small amounts. Search for independent help. Be intentional about how much you want to give to your children. The rest is yours to maximize your experience. Give the money you have decided to give to your children now, when it will help them the most. You can give it to them right away or set up a trust or foundation for their benefit with defined terms of withdrawal. Have an investment plan. Don't try to get rich quick. Adapt the risk level to the investment horizon. Again, good advisor will help you with that. For unforeseen needs, generally it's set, it should be somewhere around 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Keep investment strategy and horizon. Don't react to market events. Diversify. bonds, stocks, real estate, commodities, and so on, across the territories, sectors, and currencies. Exclude emotions, negative or positive, so-called FOMO, fear of missing out. Read chapter 5 of my book or talk to me, and again search help of an independent expert.
So how does a lot of persons, especially with the COVID, with a lot of persons have become widows, a lot of persons have become widowers. How does your book address the challenges that these people face because they're going to be going into retirement alone? Does your book speak to anything about that aspect of it?
For those people, some pillars and techniques may be more important. Take care of your health. Again, nutrition, exercise, and so on. Even if nobody to support you at hand daily. Don't be alone. Learn how to build your close and also wider networks and communities. Don't stay in one social bubble. Make friends at all levels. Finding a new life purpose, probably with the help of a good coach. How to live alone should you wish to do so. You can learn the technique in my book. Again, remember your third act of life can be the best part of your life for you too.
So as a follow-up to that, with the advent of COVID, or part of the precipitation of COVID, a lot of younger folks are now retiring early or want to retire or getting ready to retire early. They don't want to stay till 65, 70 like some of us older folks. They want to go there and get their money and live life. So in your book, how would this help these persons who have this mindset? Your book?
My advice would basically be the same as to anyone else. Be aware that you are preparing for 20, 30, maybe 40 years of your life in the third act. Have the moment of retirement well calculated. Realize that retirement isn't just about money. Think about suitable housing. Think about a suitable retirement mobility solution. To what extent do you want to contribute to the financial security of your children? Increase your qualification. Define what measure of physical, mental, social, lifestyle, and financial fitness would you like to have in your retirement years? And what are you doing about it today? Take special care of yourself as no else will. You are responsible for your health. Your doctors, your hospital, your health insurance policy, none of them can do even 1/100th as much as you can. Choose what information to let in. Choose the people around you. Continuous learning and network building. Create a more complete plan. Have vision, discipline, and consistency. Read, have a good coach. Lean to make short-term sacrifices for long-term benefits. Have discipline. Discipline is your overall ability to take specific actions that lead to the fulfillment of your personal vision. Create new habits. Daily habits create destiny. You are responsible. You can choose to change your mind. You can decide to change your approach. My book should help. You will find practical steps there, homework, checklists, action steps. You can also ask me for one-to-one coaching and look forward to my course, which is being prepared.
Do you hope, Milan, what do you hope readers will take away from living your best third act? What do you want persons to really grasp from this when they read it? What is the expectation?
Again, several points. Realize the importance of this topic. Start immediately, even with small steps. Have vision, discipline, and consistency. Be prepared for some short-term sacrifices for long-term benefits. Avoid comfort zone trap, learned helplessness, fear of any loss, and avoid choosing the path of least resistance. It's time to act. It's never too late to learn.
Okay.
Let me say a quotation from Michael Camus.
Mhm.
Those who do not think about the future cannot have one. You will have to build new beliefs and habits.
Mhm. Mhm. That's profound. That's profound. So tell the listeners how they can reach you. You said you do one-to-one coaching and all that. Tell them how they can reach you and how they can purchase a book and then the freebies that you have. How about that? Can you tell them that?
I will share with you my webpage where you can take retirement readiness quiz. You will see some of my podcast recordings. You will get overview of some toxic money beliefs. You can have some freebies, which are available to book readers. I will share with you a special freebie, 10 simple habits to live longer and better.
Mhm.
I will share you with the link to my book. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I have my Facebook group and I have a video on YouTube.
Wonderful. So as we bid farewell to this episode, we want to thank Milan for inspiring us to become the best that we can be as we embrace our third act with wisdom and knowledge, clarity, and renewed confidence. Join us in our future endeavors as we continuously fearlessly dive into the unspoken struggles that face our women today. This is your host, Lorna Lewis, and I thank you again, Milan, for your words of wisdom and, letting people know that there is more to this retirement instead of us jumping in and then we get a shock. We should be getting a shock because you really spent the time to tell us all the things that are possible and to, that we can go in with knowledge to make informed decisions. I thank you for that. And
I thank you, Lorna. It was my pleasure speaking to you and your listeners.
thank you so much.